I have 10 AI agents. They all live on this Mac Mini. I can talk to any of them from my MacBook or my phone or anywhere. I've got the same agents every time with the same memory and same identity. They never sleep, they never forget, and I don't have to tag them every time. I just talk to them. Buzz doesn't do this out of the box. Out of the box, every computer you own gets its own separate agent. Same name, same face, completely different brain. And we can see this here if I go to Agents on my Mac Studio. Look, there's Zeus. He's like my chief of staff, orchestrates everything. You'll see this is one agent right here that I can start up on my MacBook Pro. You'll see, for instance, if I go to my Agents tab here and click on Fizz, that's one of the default agents. I've got Fizz over here with all the information, including a public key. Notice the public key starts with the number 21. Now let's go over and look on my Mac Mini at that same agent. Okay, look at this. I'm on my Mac Mini. I can click into Fizz in the same Agents tab in the very same Buzz relay. And look, it's a different Fizz. I hover over there. Public key begins with 3A. Same name, same face, completely different brain. Even the storage of files is different across different devices you're working on. And all of them completely ignore you unless you tag them first. Let me show you what I mean. I'll create a channel called Fizz Test. So I'll make sure to add Fizz into this channel. And now Fizz is there. Let's talk to Fizz. Hello there. Yeah, no response. I'm speaking into a void. Reply with one word @Fizz. Let's try this. And suddenly Fizz sees what I've typed in there and should reply to me very shortly with just one word. There we go. Replied, Buzz. Very appropriate. So today I'm going to fix both of those issues in under 10 minutes. One script, it's free, I've open sourced it, and the link is down below. Let's go. Quick thing before we start, if you've ever used OpenClaw or Hermes on a server to get an always-on agent, well, Buzz replaces that. That's right, dedicate the Mac Mini you've got sitting in your cupboard, and it does the same thing. Always on, always learning, and ready to improve itself. Except it isn't a process on a server that you rented, it's an identity on a network, and you just happen to be hosting it. Now we're kind of doing Buzz Inception here because I've got two buzzes, one on my Mac Studio and one I'm remoted into on my Mac Mini. Pick one computer. That's it. One computer, just one, the computer that runs Buzz Desktop and never sleeps, okay? Every agent you ever create, you create on that computer. The agent is minted there and lives there. Every other device that you use, if that's your Mac Studio, your MacBook Pro, your PC, your Linux desktop, whatever that is just a window into the agents you mint on one device. Now, let me show you what happens if you get that wrong. There's the persona here, which is the agent name, the picture, and even the custom instructions right here. If we go over to my Mac Studio and look at the same guy, yeah, it's Fizz, and Fizz has the same picture, and even the same custom instructions. And then there's the instance, which is the actual running agent, and that has its own cryptographic key, as I've demonstrated 2.1 for Fizz on my Mac Studio, and starting with 3A on the public key on my Mac Mini. The persona syncs between your machines, but the instance never does. So you open Buzz on your second Mac, you see your agent's name sitting there, you press start, and Buzz quietly mints a whole brand new identity. That's right, new identity, empty memory, and brand new folder on the machine's hard drive as well. Same name, same face, but different brain. I ended up with 3 Fizzes running on 3 different computers and 3 agents called Zeus, and not one of them actually knew what the other one had done, because in Buzz, memory belongs to the key and not the name. 2 keys means 2 memories, and there's no way to merge them, or at least not an easy way. Fixing that afterwards literally means you're transplanting agents between machines. I did that, it took me a whole evening, and I shouldn't have had to. So pick one box first, mint everything there, and never press start on any other machine on your agents. Now, I'm not the only one who hit this wall. Riley Brown put on a video with Vishal and did it a few days ago. They ran into the exact same thing.
I mean, this is the one that I've seen on Twitter the most, which is when your Mac is turned off because it's running Codex or Cloud Code locally. Your agents aren't working.
Right.
It's the same thing as remote control. Like, you know, if your Mac is like literally turned off, you can't use it. I know with the Buzz iOS and mobile apps, you can still use Buzz, but the agents don't actually work. It just like queues up the messages, and when your Mac is open again, it'll run those prompts. So I think that's the first thing that, people are wanting, is that it's always on.
Yeah.
That's it exactly. Your Mac shuts, your agents stop. Here's Vishal putting his finger on the tension.
Core tension that I wanted to solve was when my Mac is open, I can use my agents, but it depends on my Mac being on. When I host Buzz, it doesn't have access to my Claude Code or Codex plugins, which are actually useful for doing any like knowledge work that I want to do.
Right.
So I wanted to solve both of these and have it be always running.
And he solved it. He forked Buzz and he put the whole thing in a container in the cloud.
Buzz, or this is Buzz.
It is Buzz.
But it's running.
I did not modify Buzz. I basically just forked it. Okay, I might have made a couple tweaks.
Okay. But it's open source. That's good. That's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the main thing I did was this is always on. So this is running in a container right now.
Which is really cool, but it takes a lot of technical knowledge and probably a whole afternoon. So here's the version you can do really easily with a Mac Mini and one script. Okay, here's my selected Mac Mini as the machine that will be always on with my agents. First of all, make sure you prevent automatic sleeping, keep it always on. And under users and groups, you want to make sure it automatically logs in every time, so that you're never logged out. Stay logged in matters more than you probably realize. Claude Code keeps its login in the keychain, and the keychain stays locked until somebody logs in. So run it with nobody logged in, your agents will just do nothing. Step 2, once you've made your machine, you mint every agent here. Yes, every new agent you make on that dedicated machine. You call it whatever you're going to call the agent, give it whatever instructions you're going to give it right here on my Mac Mini. And then you create the agent here and never anywhere else. Don't press play on any other computer. It's living permanently on a Mac Mini or dedicated machine. Now you can go ahead and install Buzz on your mobile phone. You can even grab a MacBook Pro or anything and stick Buzz Desktop on it. The app, the desktop app, you put it wherever you want. Those are clients. Don't mint agents there. Let's get on to step 4, which is really what you came for, and that's getting rid of having to @tag your chief of staff. Now, Buzz Desktop has no setting for this. I went through, read the source code, and the setting actually exists. It's not missing, it's just not wired up to a button yet. Every agent can read a rules file, and you only need 2 rules. Rule 1, any message from me in any channel, no tag needed. And rule 2, everybody else still has to tag, and it responds based on who it's supposed to respond to. First match wins, so my rule goes at the top. And of course, you can control who the agent replies to right here in the desktop app. Only me, anyone, or even selected people by their public keys. Now here's a catch, and it's why people who try to do this have given up. Buzz starts every agent in mention-only mode, and mention-only mode ignores that rules file completely. So you have to tell it to read the file. I've put all of that into a script. It writes the rules file, it writes the wrapper, it points your agent at it, and it backs everything that it touches up before it does anything. One command, one agent. Let me show you how this works by going fully into Buzz and into my terminal. So I've saved the script here, and it's buzzuntag.sh. So I run this script, and at the end, I simply type Zeus, the name of the agent I want to make taggable everywhere. I do that, it will close Buzz down behind me, it will run the script, it says everything can be turned back to how it was by running this command here. So that's good to remember for the future. Now I'll go ahead and reload Buzz up, it will fire up here. Now you'll see my agents all load up, but they need to actually be started. So start any agent you want to speak to. For me, it's Zeus, who is my chief of staff. And Zeus isn't actually in the Fizz Test channel, so let me add him. There's Zeus. We'll add him into the Fizz Test channel. He's waking up. And now I should be able to talk to him on the Mac Mini and say, "Hi, Zeus, one word reply." Let's do that. Oh, he's seen it and he's already looking at his system prompt. We can view his activity. Tokens are going in. He said hi over here. And will he reply over here? Yes, one reply. Boom. Hi. Yeah, very original. Well, he just answers. Now, different device, same agent, same memory, same conversation. Let's flip over from here onto Buzz on my Mac Studio. We'll go to that same Fizz test channel and we'll say only one word again and make it creative, please, Zeus. Now, I've mentioned him by name, but I don't need to. And look, the eyeballs are there. The chat is there. Zeus is working away right now. Give it a moment. And one reply is there. Fantastic. Thunderstruck. I love it. But how about on my MacBook? Let's go into Fizz test here and we'll type in hi. We'll hit enter here. Let it send. Totally insane. Zeus has replied to me there too. So you can see how easy this is. Zeus is replying everywhere, but if you don't like it, of course, there is an undo. I can just copy this undo command, run it. It will shut down Buzz and remove the ability for Zeus to reply to me untagged in any channel. We're back inside the Fizz test channel. Let's do hello Zeus and send it. Ah, yes. Our message is falling on deaf ears again. So you see, I got a reply when I wrote to Zeus on my Mac Mini. I got a reply when I wrote to Zeus on my Mac Studio. I got one on my MacBook Pro, but the moment the script is disabled, back to default behavior. Everything back exactly as it was. Now, here's the bit I didn't expect. Once every agent lives on one machine, one of them can run the others. So Zeus, as my chief of staff, I can say, hey Zeus, can you set up a channel called Bumble Test and add Bumble to that channel and then ask Bumble to reply with one creative B-based word, please. Okay, I'll hit enter there. Zeus will see this. Now, Zeus can go ahead and create channels as my chief of staff. He pulls other agents into them. He hands them work. Look, he's created the channel Bumble Test and he gets a response. Bumble, Mike asks for a quick test. Reply with one creative B-based word. And here we've got Bumble Brisked. There we go. And this is why it matters, because when I'm on my MacBook, I can't tag agents that don't live on that MacBook. But now I can. Zeus is on their machine. He can tag them. He can orchestrate them. He can organize them into places. So I don't need to manage 10, 20, 100 agents. I talk to one and he manages all of them. And funnily enough, that's exactly where Riley and Vishal ended their video.
Can you imagine a world where you have one orchestrator agent? It sets up your different departments, adds people there. If it's running a cron job for weekly sync, on Mondays, it'll set up a new channel or do that work on its own. So
one always on box, every agent minted on it, every other device is just the window and one script so you never have to tag anything again. That script's completely free. I'm sharing it with you. It's linked down below and there's nothing gated around it. Read it all before you run it and obviously use at your own risk. I'm sure by tomorrow, the Buzz team will probably ship this feature anyway. In short, it tells you exactly what changes right there in the code. And if you want to go deeper on Buzz, by the way, I run a community where we're working this stuff out every day. That's linked down below too. Go and build something, tell me what you build, and YouTube is showing a video on your screen now you should watch next. Thanks.